Quick preview of another upcoming computer build. This one's not for me, of course, because it's probably the biggest system I've ever worked with. I'm working with a friend of mine to put this together. It's a very high-end gaming rig. I think it was over $3,000. We got a Dell U2410 24-inch IPS monitor, a GeForce GTX 570 Superclock Edition, Core i7 950, which we're also hoping to overclock, another Cooler Master Hyper 212 Plus, sweet gigabyte motherboard. This is a X58A UD5, huge motherboard. And we've got here, it's a Blu-ray burner, 12 gigs of RAM, 128 gig solid state hard drive, and I believe a couple of normal, one or two Western Digital regular Caviar Black drives, some Noctua cooling fans for the case, and what's this over here? The Razer Black Widow Elite mechanical keyboard, and the mouse. Forget where the mouse is, but it's also a pretty high-end one. The case hasn't arrived yet, but the case is equally massive. I forget the name of it, but it's a really big full tower Corsair case. We won't be getting that for a few more days yet, so we're hoping to put this together on the workbench, just propped up on some blocks or something to hold it in place, and maybe get Windows installed and everything, see how it performs, and get it ready to install in the case when it comes on Monday. Oh, there's the mouse right there. Logitech G500. This ought to be fun. Can't forget this part either. Freaking massive power supply. It's very heavy and very powerful. I believe the 12 volt rail can put out 80 amps continuous. Fully modular, so that'll be interesting. It's so heavy it's got its own carry handle on the box. Another thing that surprised me weight wise was that keyboard. I mean, this thing is right up there with the original Model M as far as weight's concerned. Alright, we're getting ready to do a test build here. We got our energy for the night and some junk food and lots of computer crap to play with. Ready to get going on this project?
I am indeed. I have my Mexican Coke and I have my vast array of parts, and I'm ready to get started to complete this endeavor.
To build your first real computer that you ever owned?
Exactly.
Let's do it.
All stuff in the boxes still.
Yeah, not for long.
Bro.
Here's the heart of the project. The Gigabyte Ultra Durable 3 board. Actually, don't they call this an Ultra Durable 5 on the box? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the UD5.
X58A UD5.
It's just one model under their flagship board, the UD7. The only difference is the water cooling solution that's offered from the factory.
This is still pretty sweet though. Heat pipe cooling all over. No standard electrolytic caps. These are all the solid Japanese capacitors. Lots of RAM. I think we're going to be using 12 gigs, and this can go up to what, 24 gigs?
Yeah,
something like that. Tons of SATA ports. It has SATA 6 gig as well, and everything else is typical Gigabyte board. Lots of PCI Express 16 slots for SLI. This ought to be fun. This thermal grease is Arctic Silver 5. Some real messy, sticky stuff to work with, but it's on there. Time to mount this cooler. It's growing ever so slowly. The RAM and CPU cooler are installed now. And on these bigger boards you can see the RAM actually clears the cooler. So that's a first for me since I've started using that cooler. So I think this is the third system I've built with this cooler so far. Moment of truth, we're going to test the little rig job here, try and get Windows installed so it'll be ready when the case comes. Check this out. There's a clear CMOS button right there that's lit up with a blue LED. And also on these higher end boards, there's a 7-segment display and a onboard power button. You can see it lit up right down there. Well, I'm gonna press it. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man. Let's see what happens.
Holy crap. C1, C3. Look at all the lights on this board.
Boom. She posted.
Yeah. Just trying to get into the BIOS. God, this keyboard is so solid. It's just, I mean, like zero flex whatsoever. This thing is like it's like a piece of wood almost. It's so stiff. But yeah, Uber Elite backlit keyboard. That's so cool.
Hey man, it's glow in the dark.
Yeah. And it's got the fade effect. Well, it turns out the tracking was wrong in a good way this time. The case showed up early. It's Friday night and we got lots of fun things to do now. This case is 24 inches high, 24 inches deep, and 9 or 10 inches wide, I think. Nice plain Jane, smooth black metal front panel. Haven't even taken the protective plastic off it yet. Everything is black on this case. It's just beautiful. We got toolless hard drive bays with caddies that actually work. Nice fans. Real card slots with mounting screws. Awesome cable management like I've never seen before. Everything's got nice big rubber grommets, and we got a access plate for installing the CPU cooler while the motherboard is still in the case. That's a first time for me on any case I've used. Power supply goes on the bottom, which is really convenient. You got a cold air intake for the power supply, and then it can exhaust out the back, so the power supply won't be sucking hot air from the computer and it won't be putting hot air in the case. Same goes for the drive cage. Everything's kind of sectioned off and it's got its own fan that blows up through the hard drives, and they're mounted in there vertically. The design is flawless for this, basically. It's very sturdy, very heavy. What is it, like pushing 35-40 pounds empty.
42 was what a UPS weighed for the box.
Yeah, 42 pound shipping weight. So let's start putting this monster together. One thing that is difficult on this case is cable management. Despite all the cable management options on the case, the problem is there's not enough depth between the inside of the case and the outside cover. So it's really a chore to get the wire bundles thin enough and get everything packed in just right. Otherwise the side panel bows outward. There's no latches near the center to keep the cover from bowing out in the middle. So it's going to take some trial and error to get these all in here. But it's starting to come together. Well, it's all together and ready for the final power up test. It's just beautiful. Hopefully it's picking up on the camera with the lighting in here, but you can see how nice that cable management works. Everything is just perfectly, absolutely clean inside. The case is so big it makes that motherboard look like micro ATX, and it's a full ATX board. Can't see a whole lot because it's just so dark. Take a look around the back. Power supply looks like it's part of the case back here. It's exactly the same color, black and everything. And the front panel, equally sweet. God, this thing's so big. I don't think I've ever had to back up quite so far away from the workbench to get the whole thing in frame, but this is 2 feet square. So even with my fairly large lens on my camera, I still got to get a few feet away. But there is the beast. Now let's hook this thing up and test it. The beast is alive. Nice quiet Noctua fans. Got several fans in this case. And you can probably hear the fridge running down there more than you can hear the computer. It's freaking sweet. I still like how it's got the power and reset button right on the motherboard for diagnostics. You got the keyboard, mouse, and monitor all connected. It's just sweet setup. So darn big. All that's left to do now is put the side panel on, but we're going to do that later. Oh my god, that's so ridiculously fast, dude. Seriously. The other computer was like 20 FPS.
Which other computer?
Both of these.
Oh.
Oh my god. Yeah, dude, like on the other computer, this was like 15 frames per second or 20 or something like that. This one's pulling 72. Holy crap.
That's a strictly graphics card, or is the processor helping out at all?
Some of these are graphics only, and some are combined with CPU. God, it's almost done with the benchmark already. That's ridiculous. Now this went really slow on the other computer.
It's bogging this one just a hair at 54.
That's not even bogging. I wouldn't call anything under 30 bogging. 2540.7. I think that's about double what my other system got. I don't remember for sure.